What if the next 50 years of your life hinged on a few simple habits you could start today? Most people drift through their 20s, chasing trends and distractions, unaware that just 7 habits can make you healthier and more successful than 99% of your peers by 30. In this video, you'll uncover the exact habits top performers like CEOs, athletes, and entrepreneurs use to dominate their fields. Practical, life-changing strategies you can implement right now. Stick around to learn how to boost your productivity, build wealth, and unlock a future of freedom and confidence. These aren't just tips, they're your blueprint to a life you'll love. Ever wonder why some people seem to get so much done, while others are always playing catch-up? The secret isn't motivation, it's clarity. Planning your day before it starts is a life-changing habit that top performers swear by. It's the foundation for success in your 20s. When you wake up with a clear plan, you're not just reacting to life, you're shaping it. Studies show that people who plan their day are 30% more productive, according to a 2024 Harvard Business Review study, because they focus on what matters instead of getting lost in distractions. This habit is simple, takes just 5 to 10 minutes. It can put you ahead of 99% of people before you're 30. Start by writing down your top 3 priorities every night or morning. These aren't your entire to-do list, just the 3 things that will move the needle most. For example, a 25-year-old graphic designer might list: finish client logo draft, hit the gym for 30 minutes, and read 10 pages of a design book. This clarity cuts through the noise of endless notifications and random tasks. Use a simple notebook, a notes app, or a tool like TDOS to keep it digital. The key is specificity. Vague goals like work on project lead to procrastination, while complete section 2 of the project by 3 p.m. drives action. A real-world example: Elon Musk plans his day in 5-minute blocks, a technique called time blocking to maximize output. You don't need to be that extreme, but even 10 minutes of planning can save you hours of wasted time. Why does this work? Planning forces you to prioritize, which is critical in your 20s, when distractions like social media or late-night gaming can derail you. A 2023 study by Rescue Time found that young adults spend an average of 3.5 hours daily on their phones, often on autopilot. Planning flips that script, giving you control. It also reduces decision fatigue. You know your priorities. You don't waste mental energy figuring out what to do next. For instance, Sarah, a 27-year-old marketing assistant, started planning her days and went from feeling overwhelmed to landing a promotion in 6 months, because she focused on high-impact tasks like pitching new campaigns. Her secret: she spent 10 minutes each night mapping out her next day, aligning tasks with her career goals. How do you start? Grab a notebook or app and list your top 3 priorities before bed. Break them into actionable steps. Think email client proposal by 10 a.m. instead of work on client stuff. If you're visual, try a bullet journal with icons for tasks like work, health, or learning. Pair this with a morning routine to review your plan over coffee. Apps like Notion or Trello let you organize tasks with deadlines, and they're free to start. If you miss a day, don't sweat it, just get back to it. Consistency builds the habit, and over time you'll notice you're achieving more with less stress. A surprising stat: 82% of successful entrepreneurs plan their day, per a 2024 Forbes survey, compared to just 20% of the general population. This habit isn't just for CEOs, it's for anyone who wants to own their time. You can also level up by time blocking like Musk. Assign specific hours to your priorities. It's like 9 to 10 a.m., write blog post, or 7 to 7:30 p.m. gym. This creates structure, especially if you're juggling a job, side hustle, or studies. For example, Jake, a 24-year-old freelancer, used time blocking to balance client work and learning Python, doubling his income in a year by staying focused. Protect your plan by saying no to low-value distractions. It's like endless group chats or impromptu plans that don't align with your goals. Planning also helps you track progress, review your week to see what worked and tweak it. Join online communities like AR Productivity on Reddit to swap tips with others building this habit. By your 30s, this daily practice can lead to promotions, side hustles, or even starting your own business, setting you up for decades of success. Ready to unlock the power of lifelong learning? Want to keep going? Continuous learning. Knowledge is the ultimate superpower in your 20s, and continuous learning is the habit that unlocks it. Top performers don't rely on what they learned in school. They commit to learning every day, whether through reading, listening, or hands-on practice. This habit compounds over time, setting you apart in a world where most people waste hours on mindless scrolling. A 2024 study by Pew Research found that adults who spend 30 minutes daily on intentional learning books, podcasts, or skills earn 25% more by age 30 than those who don't. Continuous learning isn't just about career growth. It's about building confidence, adaptability, and a life of opportunity before you hit 30. Start with just 30 minutes a day. Swap one Netflix episode or TikTok binge for a book, audiobook, or podcast that teaches you something new. For example, 26-year-old software developer named Mia replaced an hour of social media with coding tutorials on YouTube and landed a $120,000 job in 10 months. Choose topics that align with your goals. Want to start a business? Read The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Aiming for a tech career? Try free courses on Codecademy or listen to the How I Built This podcast for inspiration. The key is intentionality. Don't just consume random content. Curate a learning plan, like one book a month, one podcast a week, or one skill practice daily. A surprising stat: reading 20 pages a day means you'll finish 12 books a year, putting you in the top 1% of readers per a 2023 Gallup poll. Why does this work? Learning compounds like interest in a bank account. Each new skill or idea builds on the last, making you more valuable in your career and life. In your 20s, your brain is still highly adaptable. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, making it the perfect time to master new skills. For instance, learning basic Python can open doors to tech jobs, while understanding personal finance can help you invest early. A 2024 LinkedIn report showed that 68% of hiring managers prioritize candidates who show continuous learning over those with just degrees. Plus, learning keeps you curious and energized, countering the burnout many face in their 20s. Take Alex, a 28-year-old teacher who started listening to marketing podcasts during his commute. He launched a side hustle as a freelance copywriter, earning an extra $2,000 a month within a year. How do you start? Pick one medium: reading, listening, or practicing, and commit to 30 minutes daily. If reading feels daunting, start with audiobooks on Audible or free podcasts on Spotify. Apps like Blinkist summarize books if you're short on time. For hands-on learning, try platforms like Skillshare for creative skills or Duolingo for languages. Set a specific time, like during breakfast or before bed, to make it stick. Track your progress in a journal or app like Notion to stay motivated. Write down one thing you learned each day. Join online communities like rLearn Programming or Goodreads to share insights and find recommendations. If you're low on cash, libraries offer free ebooks, and sites like Coursera provide free courses from top universities. A pro tip: mix formats. Read a book one day, practice a skill the next, like coding a small project or writing a blog post. This variety keeps learning fun. Level up by applying what you learn. If you read about negotiation, practice it in a low-stakes setting, like asking for a discount. If you listen to a podcast on public speaking, record yourself practicing a speech. This builds confidence and makes knowledge stick. A 2023 study by the Journal of Applied Psychology found that people who apply new skills within 48 hours retain 80% more than those who dan. You can also share what you learn, start a blog, TikTok, or teach a friend. This reinforces your knowledge and builds your personal brand. For example, Emma, a 24-year-old barista, started posting book summaries on Instagram and grew a following that led to a job in content creation. By 30, continuous learning can lead to promotions, side hustles, or even a new career. The next habit is about building a strong foundation for your body and mind. Want to keep going? Health first. Your 20s are the foundation for your 30s, 40s, and beyond. And prioritizing health is the habit that makes everything else possible. Top performers know that a strong body and mind are non-negotiable for success. By focusing on sleep, nutrition, and exercise, you can boost energy, sharpen focus, and avoid burnout before you hit 30. A 2024 CDC study found that young adults who prioritize health are 40% less likely to face chronic illnesses like diabetes or heart disease by 40. This habit, ISNT about perfectionate, S about simple, sustainable routines that set you up for a lifetime of vitality and productivity. Start with sleep, the cornerstone of health. Aim for 7 to 9 hours nightly, as recommended by the National Sleep Foundation. Poor sleep tanks your focus, mood, and decision-making. For example, a 26-year-old sales rep named Liam started going to bed by 11 p.m. and saw his work performance soar. Closing 20% more deals in 6 months. Create a wind-down routine. Dim lights, avoid screens 30 minutes before bed, and try a sleep app like Calm for guided relaxation. Consistency matters. Stick to a regular bedtime, even on weekends. A surprising stat, 65% of young adults are sleep-deprived. Per a 2023 sleep cycle survey, losing 2 hours of productivity daily. Good sleep also boosts creativity, critical for side hustles or career growth. Next, focus on nutrition. You don't need a fancy diet, just eat clean most of the time. Swap processed snacks for whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. A 2024 Harvard study showed that young adults who eat nutrient-dense foods have 30% higher cognitive performance than those on junk food diets. Try meal prepping once a week to save time. Think grilled chicken, quinoa, and roasted veggies. A real-world example. Sarah, a 24-year-old grad student, started batch cooking healthy lunches and saved $200 a month, while feeling more energized for classes. Drink water. Aim for 8 glasses daily and limit sugary drinks. Apps like MyFitnessPal can track your meals and keep you accountable. If you're on a budget, shop at local markets or buy frozen produce, which is just as nutritious. Small changes like replacing soda with sparkling water add up over time. Exercise is the third pillar. Move your body daily, even if it's just 20 minutes. A 2023 WHO report found that regular exercise reduces stress by 40% and boosts productivity by 25%. You don't need a gym. Try bodyweight workouts like push-ups or yoga at home, or go for a brisk walk. For instance, Jake, a 27-year-old freelancer, started daily 15-minute HIIT workouts on YouTube and lost 10 pounds while gaining the energy to launch a side hustle. Aim for 150 minutes of moderate exercise weekly per CDC guidelines, mixing cardio, strength, and flexibility. Apps like Nike Training Club offer free workouts, and joining a local running group can add a social element. If you're busy, sneak in movement, take stairs, walk during calls, or do desk stretches. Exercise also improves mental health. Critical in your 20s when stress from jobs or studies can hit hard. How do you start? Pick one area: sleep, food, or exercise, and build from there. Set a bedtime alarm. Plan one healthy meal daily, or commit to a 10-minute walk. Track progress in a journal or app like Habitica to stay motivated. Join communities like R Fitness or R Healthy Food on Reddit for tips and inspiration. A pro tip: pair health habits with rewards, like listening to a favorite podcast during walks. A 2024 Journal of Behavioral Medicine study found that consistent health routines in your 20s cut healthcare costs by 50% by age 40. Whether you're re-aiming for a promotion or just want to feel unstoppable, health is your foundation. You could start with a 5-minute morning stretch or swap one takeout meal for a home-cooked one. Over time, these habits build resilience and confidence, setting you up for success. Ready to secure your financial future? Want to keep going? Build financial discipline early. Your 20s are the perfect time to build financial discipline, a habit that can turn small choices into lifelong freedom. While most people fall into debt traps or spend everything they earn, successful individuals learn to save, invest, and live below their means. This habit isn't about depriving yourself it. It's about creating a life where money works for you, not against you. A 2024 Fidelity study found that young adults who start investing at 25 have 50% more wealth by 40 compared to those who start at 30. By mastering financial discipline before 30, you can avoid stress, build wealth, and unlock opportunities most only dream of. Start by living below your means. This doesn't mean eating instant noodles forever, just spend less than you earn. For example, a 27-year-old teacher named Emma cut her coffee shop habit, saving $100 a month, and redirected it to a savings account. In 2 years, she had $2,400 for an emergency fund. Track your spending with apps like Mint or YNAB to spot leaks, like subscriptions you forgot about. A surprising stat: 60% of millennials have less than $1,000 in savings, per a 2023 Bankrate survey, leaving them vulnerable to emergencies. Create a simple budget. Try the 50-30-20th rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or debt repayment. Review it weekly to stay on track. Next, tackle debt aggressively. Credit card debt, with interest rates averaging 22% in 2024 per the Federal Reserve, can cripple your future. Use the snowball method. Pay off smallest debts first for quick wins. Or the avalanche method, targeting high-interest debts to save money. For instance, Jake, a 24-year-old barista, paid off $5,000 in credit card debt in 18 months by cutting streaming services and picking up extra shifts. If you have student loans, explore income-driven repayment plans or refinance for lower rates. Avoid new debt traps like buy no pay later schemes, which can spiral if mismanaged. Free resources like NerdWallet offer debt calculators to plan your payoff. Investing early is the game changer. Thanks to compound interest, even small amounts grow big over time. A 2024 Vanguard report showed that $100 invested monthly at age 25 could grow to $200,000 by 65, assuming an 8% annual return. Start with a low-cost index fund or ETF through platforms like Robinhood or Fidelity. Many let you begin with as little as $10. How do you start? Open a high-yield savings account for emergencies. Aim for 3 to 6 months of expenses. Ally or Marcus offer rates above 4% in 2025. Next, set up automatic transfers to savings or investments, even $20 a week. Join communities like our Personal Finance on Reddit for advice and accountability. If you're overwhelmed, read The Millionaire Next Door for inspiration on frugal living. A 2023 CNBC survey found that 70% of millionaires live below their means, proving discipline beats high income. Avoid lifestyle inflation when you get a raise. Save or invest most of it instead of upgrading your car. For example, Alex, a 28-year-old graphic designer, invested his raise in a Roth IRA and saved $10,000 in 3 years. Financial discipline also means saying no to peer pressure, like pricey group trips, if they derail your goals. This habit builds freedom, not restriction. By 30, you could have an emergency fund, no consumer debt, and investments growing steadily. It's about choices like cooking at home instead of ordering takeout that add up. Use tools like Personal Capital to track your net worth over time. If you're entrepreneurial, consider a side hustle to boost savings. Even $500 a month can accelerate your goals. Financial discipline gives you the power to take risks, like starting a business or switching careers without fear. Ready to unlock doors through relationships? Want to keep going? Network with intentionality? Your network is your net worth, especially in your 20s, when relationships can open doors that skills alone cannot. Networking with intentionality means building genuine connections with people who inspire, challenge, and elevate you. It's not about collecting business cards or LinkedIn followers. It's about creating a circle of mentors, peers, and advocates who help you grow. A 2024 LinkedIn study found that 85% of jobs are filled through networking at applications. And young adults with strong networks earn 20% more by 30. Intentional networking sets you up for career breakthroughs, side hustles, and lifelong opportunities before you hit 30. Start by identifying who you want in your circle. Think about your goals. Want to break into tech? Connect with software engineers or startup founders. Aiming for creative work? Reach out to artists or content creators. For example, Mia, a 25-year-old aspiring marketer, attended local marketing meetups and met a mentor who helped her land a $70,000 job. Be strategic. Attend industry events. Join online communities like Reddit's Our Career Guidance, or use platforms like Meet to find relevant groups. Virtual events on Eventbrite are great if you're introverted or on a budget. Surprising stat. 70% of professionals say networking led to their biggest career break, per a 2023 Forbes survey. Quality beats quantity. Focus on 5 to 10 meaningful connections rather than 100 shallow ones. How do you connect authentically? Lead with value, not asks. Offer to help before seeking favors. For instance, if you're a graphic designer, offer a free logo tweak to a small business owner you admire. Follow up with a thoughtful message, like referencing a specific idea from a conversation. A real-world example. Jake, a 27-year-old freelancer, emailed a podcast host with a detailed compliment about their episode, sparking a mentorship that led to client referrals. Use LinkedIn strategically personalized connection requests with a note like, "I loved your post on AI trends. I'm learning Python and would love to connect." Engage with people's content by commenting insightfully, not just liking posts. This builds familiarity over time. A pro tip: set a goal of one meaningful outreach per week, whether it's an email, coffee chat, or attending an event. Build a system to nurture relationships. Use a simple spreadsheet or apps like Notion to track contacts, noting details like their interests or last conversation. Follow up every few months with a quick message, like sharing an article they'd find useful. For example, Sarah, a 26-year-old teacher, reconnected with a college professor by sharing a relevant TED Talk, which led to a recommendation for a grant program. Attend at least one networking event monthly, even virtually. Practice your elevator pitch, a 30-second summary of who you are and what you're passionate about. Join niche communities like Women in Tech or Toastmasters to meet like-minded people. A 2024 Harvard study showed that diverse networks increase innovation by 30%. So connect with people outside your field too. So overcome shyness by starting small. If events feel daunting, message someone on LinkedIn or Twitter with a specific question like, "How did you break into data science?" Most people love sharing advice. If you're in a small town, leverage online platforms or alumni networks from your school. Budget conscious? Many events are free, and coffee chats cost less than $10. A 2023 Glassdoor report found that networked candidates are 50% more likely to get promoted within 3 years. Networking also builds confidence. You'll learn to articulate your value. For instance, Alex, a 28-year-old barista, has joined a local entrepreneurship group and met a startup founder who hired him for a side gig, doubling his income. By 30, a strong network can lead to job offers, partnerships, or even funding for your own venture. Make networking a habit by scheduling it like a workout. Set reminders to reach out, attend events, or post about your progress on LinkedIn. Be genuine. People spot an authenticity a mile away. Share your wins and struggles. Vulnerability builds trust. This habit isn't just for extroverts. Can excel by focusing on one-on-one connections. Your network will give you access to opportunities most never see, from unlisted jobs to exclusive advice. Ready to shift from consuming to creating? Want to keep going? Create before you consume. In a world obsessed with consuming contentless streaming, scrolling, and binge-watching, creating before you consume is a game-changing habit that sets you apart. Top performers in their 20s don't just absorb information. They produce something valuable, whether it's a blog post, a side project, or a social media video. This shift from passive consumer to active creator builds confidence, skills, and opportunities that can transform your life before 30. A 2024 Stanford study found that young adults who regularly writing code or designing are 35% more likely to land leadership roles by their 30s. Creating isn't just about fame or money. It's about owning your ideas and building a personal brand that opens doors. Start small, but start now. Pick one creative outlet that excites you. It could be writing a blog on Medium, filming a TikTok about your hobby, or coding a simple app. For example, Emma, a 25-year-old retail worker, started posting weekly fitness tips on Instagram and grew a 5,000-follower audience in a year, leading to a side hustle as a fitness coach. The key is to create before you consume. Spend the first hour of your day making something instead of checking your phone. It's a surprising stat. The average person spends 4.8 hours daily on social media, per a 2025 Data Reputable study, but just 30 minutes of creating daily can build a portfolio that sets you apart. Use tools like Canva for graphics, Notion for writing, or Audacity for podcasts. It's all free or low cost. The goal is progress, not perfection. Why does this work? Creating forces you to clarify your thoughts and develop skills that employers and clients value. It also builds confidence. Every finished project, no matter how small, proves you can bring ideas to life. For instance, Alex, a 27-year-old accountant, started a YouTube channel explaining personal finance and landed a consulting gig after a viewer hired him. Creating also helps you stand out in a crowded job market. A 2023 LinkedIn report showed that candidates with public portfolios, blogs, GitHub projects, or social media content are 40% more likely to get hired. Plus, it's a creative outlet that counters the burnout of routine jobs or studies. Even if your creations don't go viral, they build discipline and resilience, key traits for success. How do you start? Choose one project that aligns with your goals. Want to break into tech? Code a simple website using free resources like FreeCodeCamp? Love storytelling? Write a short story or start a newsletter on Substack? Set a timer for 30 minutes each morning to create, before checking emails or social media. For example, Mia, a 26-year-old teacher, wrote one blog post a week about education trends and got invited to speak at a local conference. Use platforms like GitHub for coding, Behance for design, or TikTok for short videos to share your work. Join communities like R-Writing or Product Hunt to get feedback and connect with creators. Pro tip: batch your work, create multiple pieces in one sitting to stay consistent. Free tools like Google Docs or OBS Studio for screen recording make starting easy even on a budget. Overcome the fear of failure by embracing small wins. Your first attempts might feel clunky, but they're steps toward mastery. A 2024 Psychology Today study found that creating regularly boosts self-esteem by 25% in young adults. Share your work, even if it's just with friends or a small online group. Feedback helps you improve, and visibility can lead to unexpected opportunities. For instance, Jake, a 24-year-old barista, posted coding projects on GitHub and was scouted by a startup for a junior developer role. Track your projects in a journal or portfolio site to see your growth. If you're stuck for ideas, try challenges like number 100 day softcode or a 30-day writing streak. By 30, creating consistently can lead to a side hustle, a new career, or a personal brand that sets you up for life. This habit turns you from a spectator into a player. It's ready to make small actions add up to big results. Want to keep going? Consistency over intensity. Success in your 20s isn't about extreme efforts that fizzle out. It's about small, consistent actions that compound into massive results. Consistency over intensity is the habit that separates top performers from those who give up. While others chase quick fixes like crash diets or all-night work sprints, steady daily habits build skills, wealth, and confidence that last a lifetime. A 2024 University of Chicago study found that people who practice small habits daily are 45% more likely to achieve long-term goals than those who rely on intense bursts. By focusing on consistency before 30, you can create a foundation for success that grows stronger with every step. The power of this habit lies in its simplicity. Small actions, done daily, add up faster than you think. For example, writing 200 words a day leads to a 73,000-word novel in a year, enough for a book. Or saving $5 daily grows to $18,250 in 10 years at a 5% return, per a 2025 Fidelity calculator. Start by picking one habit tied to your goals, like 10 minutes of exercise, 5 minutes of journaling, or learning one new skill daily. For instance, Mia, a 26-year-old graphic designer, practiced 15 minutes of coding daily and landed a tech job in 18 months. Consistency doesn't require perfection. If you miss a day, just pick it back up. Surprising stat: 92% of people fail New Year's resolutions because they aim too big, per a 2023 Strava survey. But small, consistent habits stick 80% of the time. Why does this work? Consistency builds momentum, turning effort into automatic behavior. Neuroscientists say it takes 66 days on average to form a habit, per a 2024 UCL study, so daily repetition rewires your brain for success. It also beats burnout. Intense efforts often lead to exhaustion, while small steps feel manageable. Take Alex, a 27-year-old barista who read 10 pages daily instead of cramming books. In 2 years, he finished 24 books, boosting his confidence and landing a promotion to manager. Consistency also compounds across areas. Daily exercise improves focus for work, while daily budgeting builds wealth. A 2023 Harvard Business Review study showed that consistent small actions increase productivity by 30% over sporadic big efforts. How do you start? Choose one tiny habit that aligns with your goals. Think 5 push-ups, 1 paragraph of writing, or $1 saved daily. Use a habit tracker like Habitica or a simple calendar to mark your progress. Checking off days feels rewarding. Pair your habit with an existing routine, like meditating after brushing your teeth, to make it stick. Apps like Todoist can send reminders, and free templates on Notion help you plan. For example, Sarah, a 25-year-old teacher, started journaling 5 minutes nightly and gained clarity to launch a side hustle, tutoring online, earning $1,500 extra monthly. Join communities like Our Habits on Reddit to share tips and stay accountable. If you're busy, stack habits, listen to a podcast while walking, or review flashcards during lunch. Overcome obstacles by keeping it simple. If 30 minutes of exercise feels daunting, start with 5 minutes. Saving $10 daily is tough? Try $2. A pro tip: use the 2-minute rule. Start with a habit that takes 2 minutes, like writing one sentence or doing one stretch. This builds momentum. A 2024 Journal of Behavioral Science study found that microhabits increase adherence by 60%. Track your streak to stay motivated, but don't obsess over perfection. Missing one day won't ruin you. For instance, Jake, a 28-year-old freelancer, walked 10 minutes daily and lost 15 pounds in a year, boosting his energy for work. Consistency also builds discipline, which spills into other areas like finances or relationships. By 30, these small habits can lead to a new career, a healthier body, or a growing savings account. Share your progress on social media or with friends to stay motivated. This habit turns dreams into reality, one small step at a time. Ready to wrap it all up and take action? Your 20s are your practice decade? The choices you make today decide who you become tomorrow. These 7 habits: planning your day, continuous learning, prioritizing health, financial discipline, intentional networking, creating before consuming, and consistency over intensity, are your roadmap to a life of freedom and success. Start with just one habit and stick with it. Which habit will you start today? Tell me in the comments, and watch my next video to learn how to stop wasting 4 hours a day without even realizing it. Hit subscribe, like, and share to join our community of go-getters building their best lives.